3, 2.
Hello. Hey.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I'm James.
I'm James.
I'm Chelsea.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit.
How
I forgot.
We've been doing this for years.
I don't remember.
Hey, everybody. You heard our names.
Hey.
This is Practical Folks, and it's time to discuss Game of Thrones 705 Eastwatch.
I just want to say up front, I have a feeling that this discussion's going to be long. I just have a feeling in my gut because there's so much shit that we've already been debating and like picking apart.
Yeah.
And also they dropped a huge fucking bomb like 3/4 of the way through the episode that just kind of like snuck under the radar.
Maybe you missed it.
Maybe you missed it.
Yeah,
We'll
get
explain
to
it.
it. We'll get to it.
Chelsea, would you say you got this feeling inside your
Oh,
bones?
no.
What is this?
Dun,
Is this
dun,
Trolls?
dun, dun, dun,
JT.
dun, dun,
God
dun.
damn it. Okay. We're good on that. This was a good episode, though. I mean,
It was
okay. Who's in the boat with me of like, chill your fucking roll season? Anyone? Anyone else feel like this is too much?
Yes and no. Yes, because my heart can't handle the amount of shit that they're doing this season, but also it's hard to say because I don't know what their angle is. I don't know what the end game is. I don't know why they're going this fast. Maybe there's a reason.
Okay.
Here's. I just feel like the show is a fundamentally different show now.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I
You've said this
want to.
before.
Yeah. I want to get this out of the way, though.
Okay.
Because we have. First of all, I want to preface this by saying all of our theories are wrong.
Always.
The second we speak
Yeah.
them,
Oh, yeah.
we speak truth to the opposite of power, and they are not correct ever.
Except for the ones that end up being super correct.
Okay, sure.
Like,
The greatest disclaimer
Well,
ever.
Sansa's gonna kill Littlefinger,
Sa-
and
well-
Tyrion's a secret target.
and Tyrion's a secret fire.
All right. Anyway, I want to get this right off the bat.
Okay.
We were talking, and this is pure, just like right after the episode, high emotions, speculation. We were talking about the possibility that in the next 2 episodes they just end the White Walker threat.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's actually. gonna
Okay,
happen.
sure, but it's
Yeah.
not. But let's just come on this speculative tinfoily
Sure.
Yeah.
journey with me for a
Sure,
second.
okay.
We'll play
all right.
here.
We're gonna play in this space.
I could fully believe that the White Walker threat is not the ultimate bad of the show, is not like the ultimate climax of the show.
And you think Dany would be
Yes.
dragons?
Yes, our new fun, Chelsea and mine anyways, new fun favorite tinfoil theory is that they're gonna knock out the White Walker threat in the next 2 episodes, and then next season and the end of the series will be Robert's Rebellion Part 2, and
Well, I could see.
yeah, it'll be a Stark and New Baratheon and Aaron kind of led coalition against a mad Targaryen ruler.
But it would be so boring to go from Army of the Dead back to political bullshit.
not
Not really.
for me.
'Cause I think
Guys.
Army of the Dead's way more
Army of
boring
the Dead's
than political
boring.
bullshit.
But the level of stakes, you can't go down.
It's the
from,
world.
No, because it's then taking the characters that we've grown to care about and turning our allegiances against us. It's going to be a whole season. It'd be a whole season of what the Field of Fire was, of what the Loot Train battle was, where you're like, I don't know who to root for
you're
because I
buying into
love
the
all
Loot
these
Train
people.
battle name.
No, I'm
let's
not.
still call
Yeah,
it
that's
Field
the
of Fire.
It's Field of
the
Fire.
loot crate battle.
But I wanted
hate
to
it.
say it so that nobody's like, what's the Field of Fire?
Okay.
It's the loot train.
Because I've had this kind of working theory for a while of like handing off to a younger generation. They kind of shot that a little bit with killing Dick and Tarly, but like I think there'd be some poetry to ending the series that way. It's also only 6 episodes, so like it's not like they have to drag it out for a whole season, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
What, you think that would be like the denouement, kind of?
Yeah, and they wouldn't even have to really get into the war. Like they don't have to resolve the war. The like last shot of the series could be like Jon and Gendry like ready to like ride out against the dragons or something and be like, well, I guess this is it for us, boys. And then they lock their helmets down and then
Are
Ryan.
you kidding?
Oh,
Like-
don't.
What's up, Joel?
That just would be awful.
Is that
But-
worse than just like we've killed the White Walkers and now Danny and I can get married
Yeah,
and we
the
can rule
end.
together happily
There you
ever
go.
I
after?
we
want
don't want
something
that
in between.
happening.
I think there's something in between there.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit on the same page that I think they're pushing a plot that none of us expected with trying to get a physical White Walker, not a White Walker, White, down to show Cersei.
Yeah, give him White Walker.
You know, show Cersei a reasonable person, physical proof that she will then act in accordance with reason and join together. I think that they're pursuing this so hard sends a signal that maybe next season, as we assumed, it wouldn't be all the fight for the Dawn. But I don't think we're gonna resolve it in just the next 2 episodes.
What,
maybe
the war, like with Cersei?
Yeah,
That's fair.
No, not with
Oh.
Cersei. I don't think we're gonna resolve the war with the Night King in the next 2 episodes. I think that maybe early next season we could, but it's different because it's the books. But so much groundwork has been laid for this huge conflict. But the way they're pushing this, I don't know. It's different.
But George has said in interviews that the ending's going to be bittersweet, and I think that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what more bittersweet ending to be stuck in a hey guys, what more bittersweet ending than to be stuck in a cycle of history repeats itself, right?
Yeah. Like we learned nothing, and also like so often in the series, a song is always meant to mean like a battle, and
With
the
refrains.
Song of Ice and Fire between Jon and Dany could just be them fighting each other. I would just like that better than like,
I don't know. I want a little bit more closure. I don't need everything tied up with a bow, but I don't want to end mid-war.
I would be,
Or like at
yeah.
least end mid-war with like our principal characters. That's absurd.
I don't think they'll find a way to do
end
it so
He was talking
satisfyingly.
about it in the
Well,
movie.
that was an exaggerated case, but
Sure.
It'd be like if you teased a villain 10 years out, and then in the beginning of Avengers Infinity War, Thanos just like slips and falls and dies. Like what I mean is we've had these White Walkers
What would happen
and
to
a
Bran?
season 1, and a season 2, and a season 3. Like these guys are the big guys, and I know they're gonna subvert expectations, but I think we're in a game where they gotta fulfill some expectations. Right
Yeah,
now.
and Bran's whole character arc would be pointless.
but
Yeah, it
but
really
to-
would.
But some things are pointless. Like, but to bring it back to your Marvel analogy, how unsatisfying is the third act of every Marvel movie,
Yeah,
where it's just a giant battle for the
That's
fate
true.
of the
I will
world?
be
But
so
that's what
upset
makes the money.
if that's how it ends, like a Marvel movie where it's like everyone's gonna team up and be best friends.
They can just do what they did with Twilight and have an awesome crazy
Like fake
battle
out
and
ending.
then a fake out.
Fake,
And then
fake
it's
baby.
all Bran. Like, this is
And
what
that's how
it
it
This
would
is
would
what
be.
have been.
could happen if we don't choose differently.
That was what was going to happen before Dany brought the dragons to the north and Cersei respected her and they all ruled happily together.
That was kind of a legit twist, though. Like, as
Cersei-
bad as
oh.
the Twilight everything
Yeah, it was pretty great.
that was pretty neat.
Okay.
What if Cersei and Jaime just settle down in a castle with their new baby?
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, she just gives up power and wants to be a mom.
Yeah,
right.
Cersei gives up power. That's funny.
Cersei
That's a good
runs the
one.
inn at the crossroads.
Yeah.
Okay, how about we
Let's talk about this episode.
Let's talk about the episode.
If we want to talk about first scene, we get now. Okay, a lot of people, a lot of us, we were talking at the end of last episode, like, oh, we all knew that Jaime was alive, and here we get it confirmed when Bronn pulls him
This
out.
was too easy for me.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Oh, I hated that.
Yeah.
That's maybe my biggest complaint about the episode is Bronn is able to just pull Jaime out of the water, who's
Armored
like fully
Jaime.
armored, and get him across
Bronn is the
A lake?
strongest
A
person in the
giant
world.
like
lake,
far enough
yeah.
away from
I
the.
think he said river, but
But like,
But, like,
it's
it-
far enough away for them to not bother chasing after Jamie fucking Lannister.
Yeah.
With a
Tyrion's not
dragon.
like, wait, what does Tyrion fucking think? Until he meets with him later in the episode, he's got to think his brother's dead. Last time he saw his brother, boom, pushed into water.
I
His
guess
brother's dead.
Bronn goes to treat with him and set up that meeting. I don't know.
But,
I
like,
kind of lost
yeah.
the threads of that.
It's-
Even when Tyrion is on Dragonstone, he's just saying like, "Oh, well, Jaime would meet with me, brother. You
Yeah.
just saw Jaime die."
The whole series, we've been led to believe that wearing armor on
On
a
a
boat
boat.
is like asking for death because if you fall in the water, you're fucked. And the idea that just Bronn is gonna like push him in and then like swim
so
with him,
stupid.
it's absurd,
It's
man.
stupid.
So what were they trying to do with that cliffhanger last episode then? Because
nothing. Just have
yeah,
the
just have a cliffhanger.
it's
That's
good
it.
TV.
yeah, it's
It-
like predicated on like, oh no, armor.
Yeah.
But then, oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
it's dumb.
that was a bummer.
It also,
I didn't like that.
yeah, I guess it
I-
accomplishes that like some viewers will forget that that's what the situation was, so they'll be like, "Oh yeah, he made up onto the shore. He's over here, fine."
The argument could be made that it's a leave someone to tell the tale. You know?
Mm-hmm.
What? That's Dany's? No.
No. It's Tyrion. Tyrion saw Jaime charge, and obviously Tyrion. The scene with Tyrion walking through the aftermath of the battle was a very effective scene. With Tyrion reacting to the burned bodies and the charred ground and everything, and obviously being horrified by the dragons burning the Tarleys. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Tyrion maybe saw them get away and didn't mention it.
I don't know.
Like Tyrion still cares
maybe
for
Tyrion
Jaime.
saw,
like,
but how would Dany have not had
And also,
seen?
again, this is when I hate the fucking writing on the show, is when we have to invent scenes that we weren't shown to make things make sense.
Yeah.
See
good thing they didn't have 2 more
the
episodes.
sand
of the
snakes
season.
getting on that boat.
Oh,
Where we
yeah,
were like,
yeah.
maybe this could have happened. We had to
Yeah.
like write an entire scene to make that scene make sense.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to be doing that. And
So
we-
that sucks.
So it's bad.
And that's one of those
writing.
things where it's like, why didn't they just have 2 more episodes and spread this out? Because
Yeah.
so much of this feels so fucking rushed. But anyway,
Yeah,
they
we
had
were
their-
talking all about like, oh, Jaime's potential arc as a prisoner of Dany, and thinking about dragons and who will he side with. But that said, whatever choice they made at the beginning of the episode, I liked when we had Jaime go back to Cersei and see him sort of getting closer to a breaking point. About like things are stretched thin.
Well, I
But
mean,
then-
I think his conversation with her really drove home for me anyway. Just the first time, just like, yeah, you can't fucking win. You cannot win. And I do like that the big reveal, quote unquote, of the Scorpion was shown to be like, we all were like, this is dumb. And then Jaime was like, this is dumb. This isn't going to work against 3 dragons. These fucking bolts.
I loved his repetition of she has 2 more.
Yeah, he said that a number of times.
Yeah.
And that just really drove home for me. Yeah, you guys are fucked. And it was for a moment I was in their shoes of just like I felt what they were feeling as like we
you're
really can't.
fucked.
Yeah. But she convinces him that everything's worth fighting for with
I can't. I have so many feelings.
who called this?
No one.
Not a
Not
single
a single
goddamn
person. And I
that I've read.
I will put myself now on the side that I think she's actually pregnant.
Okay.
Because they very pointedly showed her talking to Qyburn right before Jaime came in, and I have a feeling Qyburn is doing something to make her get pregnant for sure, like a pregnancy guarantee. I think,
Or just like confirmed you are.
yeah,
the
or
child,
just
yeah.
but
Yeah.
something.
If it were the books,
Yeah.
I would say this was menopause, not a pregnancy.
Oh, is that something that someone?
I don't know. That's me making a big assumption. I'm sorry to every woman ever.
Like
but isn't that kind of a thing?
hormones.
Like it's hormones
just
and you stop having your
hysteria.
Yeah,
period, right?
You can have like a psychosomatic pregnancy. That's a thing. But I don't. I think she's actually pregnant.
Okay.
Something weird's
I'm on
going
the side
'Cause-
of the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, because here's what I think she gains from it. I don't think she necessarily is gaining anything by lying to Jaime about being pregnant. I think that she's trying to subvert this prophecy that she was told as a kid, which I hope continues to still be important because it pretty much drives her entire personality in the books. And we were very purposely shown a flashback of her with Maggie the Frog in season 5
Mm-hmm.
at like near the beginning. And so the prophecy, and I just checked before we started, it says that she asked if she and the king will have children, and this is in the books too, so it might be different in the show. I couldn't find a transcript of the show, but Maggie the Frog says you will have 3 children and they'll all die. So what I think Cersei's trying to do is, I think maybe part of the reason she seduced Jaime, and we were shown it, is because she's just trying to say fuck it to this prophecy, and is trying to be, she's realizing, oh, it's coming true, but I can make it not come true. I can get myself pregnant and make the prophecy not come true. I'll have a kid. I won't be ousted by this younger, more beautiful queen. I can win because she has nothing else left.
Yeah, that seems like a Cersei thing to do.
Yeah.
Good
But
point.
it's equally Cersei to be lying about this as a way to manipulate Jaime. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
I think
Yeah.
if that were the case, then we and Jaime would see what kind of person she really is now, and that it's all for herself and not just for the two of them. Like no legacy. She hasn't talked about wanting to try and create the next generation yet. So
someone
Ooh,
said
I like this
maybe her
theory.
baby is a boy and she dies in childbirth. The little brother being that of Tommen and Myrcella and Joffrey.
Oh, that'd be fucking
I really
cool.
like that a lot, actually.
Ooh.
I wouldn't be
That's
surprised
fun.
if that's how that
Yeah.
plays
that's
out.
interesting.
That was Nim.
Wow.
That was Nim.
But
Nice.
unfortunately, the little brother line is not in
That's
the
not in the
show.
show.
But I could
Yeah.
still,
Still, you could
I
do
could
it.
still see it playing out
Yeah.
that way.
Mhm.
Also, people are saying she's not old enough to be going through menopause.
Yeah, but they're saying some people are saying that I wasn't 100% wrong, and I'll take that as a win.
Yeah. And yeah, she just had a baby, real life. Sure.
Yeah, well, I know, but okay.
No, I'm talking to myself. I'm like trying to think like, oh yeah, no, she could
No, I'm
feasibly.
sitting on a chat talking to myself.
Uh,
That's chaos. Okay.
Yeah, so before we get too far with Cersei and Jaime, because they'll have more scenes. Danny presents an ultimatum to the Tarly men and whatever Lannister men are left,
All
and
right.
then roasts some Tarlys.
Yep. Roast them both. Randall and Dickon.
Dickon, you just had to not say anything, and you could have lived, but
Oh,
that's
so,
not Dickon.
so, okay, the consequences of this are Sam's the only Tarly left, but he's not a lord. He's renounced his titles and lands to join the Night's Watch. So
well, yeah, this is assuming that there is a Night's Watch by the end of the show.
sure.
And I guess he renounced something by going to the Citadel, but he's now left the Citadel.
But okay, so how do we feel about Randall and Dickon getting?
Okay, I just want to say, and I tweeted about this, and I talked to Caitlin about this because I couldn't stop. If things were different, and if Westeros wasn't as terrible, Dickon and Sansa would be the best couple ever because they're both sweet and good, and he's like a handsome warrior.
He's a good-looking guy.
and he seems like
Well, he
he's
was.
really good, and I just like it. Anyway,
Yeah.
and
now
it'll
it-
never happen.
Yeah. Now he's Ash.
Yeah.
From a character perspective, I kind of liked Dickon stepping up and following his father into this like honorable death in a way, because from what we know from Sam and the way that Dickon was brought up, his whole life has been do what your father would do, be your father, you know, like
Yeah.
be Lord Tarly. So in the end, he continued that quest.
Sandick and Dixa.
So I thought that was kind of nice. It is unfortunate.
God damn it.
Oh, holy shit.
He does this to my chats.
What?
Oh
He's
shit.
done it 4 times to my chats.
Oh God, what do we do?
Jesus. Thank you.
Come on.
What a
Thank you. Holy shit.
Thanks, man.
I don't know. Oh God.
It's probably gonna be a lot of turtle emojis in a second.
Why?
What?
Is it
What?
George R. Martin?
I hope so.
I hope it is.
If this is Lena Headey, please come be on the show.
Lita, please.
We'll do
We're
it.
in Sherman Oaks, Lena. I know you sold that place.
Oh my God.
Thanks,
Y'all.
RJ squared.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
How do we
you
do
have
the
any-
show
do you have any
now?
questions
I don't
for
know.
us? Quick break for that donation. Super chat. What are we talking about? I had a thought. Unless anyone.
Oh, just to wrap up my
Yeah.
my thoughts on Dickon and Randall. It's unfortunate that we didn't get a lot of Dickon before this, so it seems kind of weird that like,
Agreed.
he'd get killed off this way. But I think that there's a way where this makes sense. And I did like the way that it supported Tyrion kind of being disgusted by this, and I think that whole scene was just evidence for our Mad Queen theory. And if you're Dany fanboys out there, you know,
Hello.
great, you can like Dany, fine, but Mad Queen like is a real possibility, and you know,
Yeah.
don't like get all upset about the fact that like there are things that Dany does that are not okay, and this was one of them.
I get it, but she told them to bend the knee, and some of those guys weren't bending the knee, so this is what happens. But I actually like the scene, not especially for her, but more for Randall, because I feel like he needed more of a reckoning, and because he, as they point out in that scene, there was no legitimacy to Cersei's reign. The queen of a house that he had sworn to, the rightful king, the rightful queen, or more so the rightful queen, was killed by her, and he decided to side with Cersei anyway and go against House Tyrell. So I think there was a consequence to that, and I'm glad that they brought that up in that scene.
Yeah. Now they're dead. Cool. Hey, is our video lagging? I just want to know because I tried to fix my internet and
I think it's doing a lot better than it was.
Is it choppy?
Yeah,
let us know if it's choppy.
she's more like Aegon style right now instead of
Yeah.
Mad King.
But regardless, I
still.
mean, the Targaryen dynasty was predicated upon them having dragons and the power that the dragons gave them.
Yeah,
And they
they're-
ultimately tore themselves apart over those dragons, which led to the extinction of the dragons and the downfall of their dynasty. So, like, this is not...
It's not inevitable, though.
No, but Tyrion's right. This is not the way you win the hearts and minds of your...
But
Oh, no,
I
I
don't know.
like that.
Aegon didn't have to win hearts
Yeah.
and minds.
He has dragons.
I mean, to
So
be
does she.
fair, if I'm Daenerys in this situation, I'm probably gonna do the same thing. I'm probably just gonna roast a bunch of people. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think she's doing the right thing.
I mean,
I mean, not like morally, but conquering wise. She's being like Aegon.
and also you can still be a Dany fangirl or fanboy if she ends up being a total asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me,
That's
we
fine.
love
I
yeah,
love
characters
asshole
who are
characters.
awful.
They're more
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, villains are fun. It's okay if she's a villain.
I think she's way more interesting that way. As
We
I've discussed
we also had I think the scene with the steamiest chemistry was between Jon and Drogon when she lands and Jon just
Oh, man.
has that sweet touching of that
before. I was
leathery
like,
So-
was there
dragon
a sex
skin.
scene? Like,
Now
no.
all 3 Targaryens have touched dragons.
Guys, it's happening. It's happening.
I don't know. For as much, I mean, I've always been skeptical because I like the idea that Tywin is his father, but
Yes.
they've laid track for Jon's.
Not on the show.
No, I mean they laid track
Touch
for
the
Jon's
dragon.
real identity for so long, and then I don't think they could pull like one of those on Tyrion in that one season.
Oh, but they
Like,
can.
oh,
We
by the
have
way,
2
they
seasons
could.
left.
yeah.
They definitely could.
So he touches that dragon, and
That was very
Yeah.
powerful. That was a nice scene.
her face was, I think,
She was
where
shocked.
I was. Yeah, she was very surprised.
Okay,
and
how did you guys read her reaction?
She was into him. She wants to bone him
Yeah,
so
she
bad.
wants to
Yeah,
fuck him.
she's
sad
into
with
That's
him.
her
him.
reaction. Like,
she wants to know more about him. Like, tell me about that. Tell me about your
She wants to
heart.
know more about him.
that's like a big part of what she's. It's weird. That's why I like getting her POVs, like in the books. Is she's a lot of her personality is like she's a teenage girl and she wants to get dick, and
Been
that's a
while.
lot. Yeah, and you know, I believe that's like all there was to that look. Is he's just hot, you know.
Well, she has gotten used to him being around.
Mm-hmm.
And
So-
no other man in her life could touch a dragon like that.
Oh.
Oh yeah, there
Make it
aren't 2
purr.
seasons, huh?
I
There's like
think-
this and the next one.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know why. I was like, there's 2 seasons left, you guys.
Oh,
There's not.
no. Nope.
Jeez.
I think that those 2 actors have no chemistry.
Oh, I think they do.
Oh, I felt it in that
anti-Emilia
cave.
Clarke.
You've really?
I felt it
Yeah.
even this episode when she was saying goodbye.
Yeah.
I like them together.
I like it. It's fun.
Bran has a vision, and
Sure, he does.
Oh, can we just talk about him using the ravens? Because he's using about like at least a couple dozen, maybe.
So you thought he was like jumping back and forth between
Yeah,
them?
there's
That's
an
what I
interesting thing
think
where
it
where
was.
each raven is sort of blinking, and you see the white of their eye, like the eyes are
Yeah.
going back, and then the black eye, and I feel like he was sort of shifting perspectives.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought that was super cool.
Yeah.
I noticed that as well, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was like he was like watching a 3D movie, you know?
Thank you
Yeah.
to those who agree with me.
Mhm.
It would have been really cool if we saw some sort of like his point of view, and then it was like shifting like here.
Oh,
here.
that would have been cool.
Yeah.
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 But the effect was neat with the eyes. And this was just the intelligence of they're marching on Eastwatch, right? That was the point.
Yeah. And he comes to and he's like, Ravens, get me ravens.
And it's a way for John to find out Bran.
But before, before that, the Maesters get the raven.
That's right. Oh, and
Fucking
this also kind of
Maesters.
reveals that, I mean, I guess maybe we assumed, but this makes explicit that Bran can warg into something that's like the distance between Winterfell and above the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's
He was
huge.
far north.
He could just, I mean, I don't know if he can initiate it because he initiated them when they were at Winterfell.
Fair.
But he could just warg into a dragon at any time.
Ooh, dragon wargin.
I don't know if that's how that works.
Dragon wargin.
He can't just be like, I
Yeah,
know that
imagine
there's
a dragon.
dragons
Yeah, no,
somewhere.
I think since
think
the
he has
ravens took
to
off
have,
from
like,
Winterfell.
Yeah.
Connect like a physical connection with the animal first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like cast clairvoyance.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get to that Maester meeting.
Maester meeting with the crotchety old Maesters saying they don't believe it.
I liked the set design for that sequence. I liked that the Maesters weren't in this grand chamber. That this meeting was in just like kind of like on a side table in a small room full of shit. Like it wasn't
They're
in
not-
like a painted table type room.
Yeah, they're not opulent. Like
No.
Maesters are all about just like
just the job.
books, yeah.
And that the only opulence that we've seen in the Citadel so far has been the library. And I think that that's a really cool detail for the show to include. So, neat.
Yeah, it's
Pretty neat.
strange that, or I thought it was an effective portrayal of their power, which is they have all this knowledge that's so critical, but they're not in a room where decisions are made. They're just in a room where they talk and nothing happens. They're not going to help anyone.
Yeah, Maesters suck.
Aw.
They do.
They do.
They're so. I'm glad that the show's touching on this. Is that they're super in denial about the fact that magic could exist, like any form of magic.
But I enjoy the continuation of the theme that these organizations with power will do whatever it takes to maintain that power.
Mm-hmm.
And for the Maesters, that's denying the existence of magic. For the Iron Bank, it's like ignoring scruples when it comes to where their money is coming from. For, obviously the great houses all have their own examples of this. But, even the Night's Watch made deals with Craster because that meant, keeping themselves alive and and continuing the power of the Watch over the wildlings. Like every major organization in the series has made some kind of sacrifice of their quote unquote morals or ideals to keep or increase their power, and the Maesters are no different. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in this case, it's self-delusion.
That's one of the themes I like
Yeah.
the most in the series.
Well, also, if magic is real, that's one field of knowledge that they don't seem to really have a grasp on. It's something that they can't be turned to as experts, whereas they know everything else. If magic isn't real, then they are like the keepers of all knowledge of medicine, of science, and all that stuff. But if it turns out, also people can come back from the dead, and they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't so. I appreciate that it wasn't like so on the nose. Like this could never exist. This would challenge our whole way of being, our very seat of power. They were just not open to it at all. Like, no, that's
Yeah.
not how we do things.
yeah.
Satria, there's no Maesters in the show that specialize in magic.
No, because Marwin's not in the show.
In the books, we're introduced to a Maester that does, and he is not held in super high esteem within the Citadel, but he is a... Really? Isn't he? Isn't
Marwin?
He's an
Yeah.
Archmaester.
He's the
Oh, he
Archmaester.
is?
No,
Yeah.
he's a Archmaester.
Yeah.
In the books, it's a
Oh, it's kind of
it's
like
a conclave
But
of
he's-
other. So how they have the chains.
Yeah.
So there are multiple Archmaesters who each have a rod and mask of their metal.
And he
And
has one
that's-
They have
for
And he has one of
necromancy.
Valyrian steel, and that's the study of like the like
Magic.
mysterious arts or
Okay,
magic.
so it's just magic.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like the weird, like black sheep, maybe. Of the, like they all
Yeah.
are like
Yeah.
Marwin's weird.
He's
we
like the
don't
liberal
sit with him at
Archmaester.
lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't get him in the show. It's weird.
Yeah, and Maester Lewin had a link of Valyrian still, meaning he studied it.
Book. I don't know
in
if
the
he had it
book.
in the
I think
show.
he might have explained
had
it
it
to
in the
Bran and been like, "This is."
Guys, we're so bad at keeping
Yeah.
separate what happens.
And they
in the book.
It's
they-
really
They
hard.
kind of subtweeted Lewin a little bit. They're like, "Oh, those maesters in the north, they
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did, yeah.
like they
Kinda
get a
lose
little
their
slow,
mind.
or they drink, or just the people up there.
Yeah.
Shitty Southern dudes."
Yeah.
And then Bran got that letter. No, sorry, Bran didn't get that. John got that letter from Bran.
Well, Varys and Tyrion got it.
That's
first.
right.
That was a
Varys-
cool
yeah.
scene.
Yeah, it's always nice to see those two hanging out.
I like that they
Higher
were.
mysteries, yes, thank you.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it is frustrating to watch the constant denial, but it's why this series is so effective in having this is one of its themes because it so mirrors real life, unfortunately. I think there's a reason that the institutions in the show are so stubborn. Like, it's not an accident.
Yeah.
It is frustrating.
If the metaphor does hold, we're gonna see like a white in King's Landing, and then no one just cares.
No
at
one
all.
gives a shit. They're like,
Yeah.
this is made up.
But
it's
how
fake.
does this get me more power?
Yeah. Cersei's. Okay, can we talk about this dumbass plan to like bring a white to King's Landing?
So
Something
they
to
they
that.
get this letter. John glosses over that like, "Whoa, Arya's alive. Bran's alive. Also,
yeah, God, I hated
Oh, I
that.
hate
so
that. We're just
much.
like,
oh, you're telling me Arya?
oh, Arya
my,
Bran
like,
back,
favors-
cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Let's
let's
go
get a
capture
white. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest problem I have is not even. Sorry, my brain's melting a little bit. It's not even the difficulty they will have in trying to capture a white and then transport it to King's Landing, not even knowing if it'll live to make it down there because they already tried this shit once,
That's
as
the
confirmed
thing.
in the after the show thingy with D&D, where they remind us that a white's hand,
Yeah.
a disembodied hand, was brought to King's Landing and it just like rotted away and like was inanimate by the time it got down there. So they don't know if this will work even. But the biggest problem is like, why did everyone come to the conclusion
It's so
that
dumb.
it's a good idea to try and like reason with Cersei? Why, like, in what universe is Tyrion saying, yeah, maybe Cersei will see the truth and get it?
I really think
That's not-
okay. The only justification I can think of in universe, because in reality, I think this is just Cersei's a favorite character and they don't want to kill Lena Headey.
I think that's part of it. I think they're just like stretching it out,
So-
which is fine with me, but also it's dumb.
I think that Queenie says, "Why don't they just kill a red shirt from beyond the wall and save us from Suicide Squad too?"
well, everyone should save us from Suicide Squad too. Please don't make
What
that
is?
movie.
What do you mean by Suicide Squad?
like
2?
like
The seven.
the 7 guys who are gone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think that, but the only in-universe justification I can think of for this is that Tyrion saw what a dragon can do and is so horrified of the idea of unleashing the dragons on King's Landing and the thousands of people that will be caught in the crossfire, literally. He's grasping at straws.
Yeah.
And this is something that this season has been doing, the whole all season. Like, Tyrion has been making these blunders based on emotion and, going after Casterly Rock, trying to convince Dany not to use the dragons. He's been trying to avoid this massive bloodshed. I think he's influenced by what he saw in the Blackwater. I think he's influenced by what he saw at Field of Fire, and now he's just so horrified at the idea of burning that many people alive that he wants to avoid it at all costs. So he's grasping at straws.
Okay.
He's not been great, and the show knows it this season in terms of predicting what's really going to happen, being a good strategist. And we sort of thought, okay, well, once Jorah gets there, we're going to have a good military advisor. So I'm surprised that he's not being used more for his strategic value and more to be a guy to go on a quest to possibly die. Yeah, I think we were missing this military mind as an advisor to her, and that problem's not really solved. Tyrion could keep making these blunders, as you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one to
I
puzzle out.
just don't like that John personally knows that they took a hand down there to do this exact same thing and it didn't work.
And he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, at least if they had addressed that and been like, well, maybe it was because it was
It
severed
was
hand.
cut off and
Yeah.
it
I
wasn't.
think with the
still-
whole body it might work. Like, sure, okay, it's still a dumb plan, but like
That
at
was
least it makes
so
more
long
sense.
ago that like while the credits were rolling, we were talking about that hand, and all of us were convinced it didn't happen in the show and it only happened in the books. But then the after the show thing, no, it happened in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just
yeah.
didn't bring it up.
And Gior was the one to do it, so I don't think they had gone on their ranging yet. So John would have for sure known.
I actually was
Yeah.
a steward, even though he didn't
Yeah.
want to be a steward.
It's dumb.
So I don't know. I
Like,
feel
what is this road trip gonna be with like a white in a cage and the like Magnificent Seven just like
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, so who's gonna die in that? Which also, by the way, when you call your episode Eastwatch, we expect to see some action at
Yeah.
Eastwatch.
I
not-
actually liked that mystery.
you like that fake
It's like
out?
calling
Yeah.
it Dragonstone, and we just get like her kissing
Oh,
some
get there at the end.
sand on
Sure,
Dragonstone.
I guess. I was
Um,
really expecting to actually get some action there, but I mean, we just had a great action scene, so that's fine.
Loot crate attack.
the loot
The
crate
loot crate
attack.
attack. Yeah.
God, what I mean, there's so much, man.
We go to Winterfell next. Oh, we sort of skipped over that Tyrion Varys scene, but I thought it was quickly
I liked
interesting
that scene.
like
Yeah.
Varys was reckoning more with like, yeah, I told myself that I wasn't really like killing these people, but I provided all the information that
Yeah, that was
was
good.
needed.
Good to hear from. It's just more of the show making Varys a good guy. It's kind of like excusing him for his past actions. Where if you think about like, oh wait, Varys was the Mad King's advisor. He's kind of complicit in all that. Here's show Varys being like, I feel bad about it. Where again, I don't think Book Varys is going to be this
don't
sympathetic.
think-
But
no.
whatever. Conleth Hill is so. I mean, you can't watch him and not like him. So whatever, I guess.
There
Yeah.
are a lot of questions in the chat asking about various plot threads that the show has abandoned or forgotten
I
about.
saw the Warlocks in there.
Yeah, Essos isn't even in the opening
Oh,
credits. Who
yeah.
cares?
What if the Warlocks come back next season? I would love it.
Yeah.
But where is the money from?
Where's Quaithe too?
People asking about Euron this episode. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I would
Probably in
too.
a
Where's my
brothel.
boy?
we didn't get Euron. Like
Where's my fave?
He's probably in a brothel
we're
or something.
yeah we're here to
Just-
talk about the
He's living
the
it up.
episode we
Yeah.
got.
You guys, before we move on from the whole Magnificent Seven plot, do we want to take guesses as to who's going to get killed next episode?
Well, we're not even there yet. Actually,
Yeah, we still got to get to Sansa. And
Yeah, I
Arya.
just
Yeah.
brought
but
it
like,
up.
can't we just
but-
wrap up
Sure.
that storyline? Because like
Well-
the others aren't dependent
Well, no,
on
because
that,
then we
right?
have to talk about like them running into the Hound and Thoros and
Sure, we can address that. And I just want to.
Well, I want to talk about Gendry in a chronological way
Oh,
because that
shit.
little baby,
Yeah.
he back. He is back.
I still think we should deplete this branch. So let's go back to Gendry.
Okay. Well,
So you
there-
two were spoiled.
Yeah.
on
So
this.
Yeah.
I
That sucks.
was.
That sucks.
Whatever fan.
Ooh,
I don't
yeah.
remember your name now, but don't write comments on this video, guys, and spoil me on the next episode. I deleted it, saved you guys from it,
Thanks.
I was
Come
spoiled
on.
months and months ago by somebody
I
posting
remain well
Somebody
unspoiled.
on the
I'm
internet
very good at
posting
avoiding spoilers.
like paparazzi shots of set photos, which I hate so much. That like that's the world we live in, where people want. Who wants to know that? Why
People.
do you
Yeah.
want the story ruined?
yeah,
Um,
that was a big deal when John was dead. They're like, oh, but photos
So-
from set.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, they definitely threw the fans a line with, I thought
So-
you'd still be rowing.
I knew that I knew that Gendry was going to be in the show. I didn't know how they were going to bring him back. So I was really pumped when we got to the scene with Davos in the Street of Steel
Yeah.
and realized what they were doing. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
soon as like he got into like Street of Steel, I knew instantly.
you
I was like,
jumped up,
oh
yeah.
god, yeah.
And then when it's
Oh.
like, no, I don't use a sword, and all of us were just like, fuck
Oh
yeah.
god, guys.
And then we get to see him use it right away.
Yeah.
on those
Oh, yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
which was a good beach scene. Oh, we were saying about how cool it is to finally see Davos as a smuggler.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that was
yeah.
super
Because
awesome.
like he's known
Yeah.
as a smuggler, and he's like, I can smuggle
He's
you
like
in.
the best
And so,
smuggler.
but then they're just landing on the beach. And it's like, okay, I guess he's a smuggler. But then you really see it come out in detail.
Yeah.
When he's like, yeah, come take a look at the boat. Fucking flips the thing over the hammer.
Even before then, though, he says to Tyrion, like, I've been away so long, no one's gonna remember me. Like, there's this path up over this way that's not patrolled by guards because there's too many steps.
He knows to just do the gold.
Yeah.
And, like, what kind of thing to have on deck to.
Yeah. What if somebody takes our boat? Then they take our boat. Like, it's just. I really liked Davos. Davos has been on fire.
Yeah, Davos is killing it. Which
From
means maybe
his
he'll
introduction,
get killed.
but like. I loved, with the gold and like, oh, is it 5 gold? It's like, oh, you're older than you look. Like that was so good.
Yeah.
And the crab bit
Yeah.
with the like,
Yeah.
This will give you a
I
boner.
do think that they missed an opportunity for a callback to oysters, clams, and cockles.
Oh, I don't know. That's
Because
that would
like
be-
oysters are like the stereotypical aphrodisiac, like,
Sure.
but whatever.
But it was great.
Cockles.
Good.
I ship Gendry and Arya, Elisa, for sure.
Oh, is the video choppy now for anyone else?
We're seeing it a little choppy.
looks like
Let us know if
ours
it
has
is.
been like
Blurg.
that.
I like how much that scene. You know, we all want to see him use that damn warhammer. I like that they really showed us Davos' skill. That until Tyrion shows up, we weren't gonna get that. He was gonna talk his way out. But then Tyrion showed up and was like, well, I'm just gonna walk down, and it didn't work.
And then, Warhammer.
Oh,
Warhammer.
also,
I guess
yeah.
just like brief recap in case you're not familiar with like War of the Five Kings shit and like young Robert Baratheon. So, okay, Gendry's Robert Baratheon's bastard son. And young Robert fought with a Warhammer, and it sounds like it was pretty kick-ass. And so when he picked up his own Warhammer that he made, it was so exciting. It was the best.
It was cool. We had a little side conversation about one of the 2 Lannister guards who got killed. It's weird because
Oh yeah.
one of the 2 of them we've seen on the show before in a different role. I mean, they've done that before with Tommen, who was Tommen, but then he was also a Lannister. But it's weird to recast a guy who played the fake Ned Stark over in Bravos in the play. He was playing the comedic, dumb shit version of Ned, and then also plays a Lannister guard here. Maybe it's the same guy.
It is the same guy.
No, it is the same guy, but maybe the
Confirmed?
same character. Maybe he like came
Oh.
over
Oh,
after being in
no.
Bravos.
And
No.
I mean, it's
That
a
would
dumb
be
thing that they
absurd.
cast him in
It's
another
weird.
role. That's really dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's dumb.
They know people pay attention to this.
Yeah. They just needlessly spawned like 1,000 conspiracy
Oh,
theories.
I don't know. What do we want to talk about? I'm afraid of jumping around too much, but it has to do with Gendry.
Oh, next is
Oh.
the Jaime, Cersei.
Well, no, I thought
we,
were
have we
wrapping up
talked about the baby? We've talked about the baby.
Yeah.
A
Let's
little bit.
let's
Yeah.
finish
Talk
up
about
the
that.
Magnificent Seven. So we got Gendry.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. we'll
Okay,
finish
so-
up
All
there.
right,
Jon and Gendry.
Jon and Gendry was awesome.
Yes.
Oh,
One thing I
man.
loved about that is it mirrored the first meeting between Ned and Robert, season 1, where they meet and Robert says, "You've gotten fat,"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and they threw similar little jabs
was it
at
like
each
you've gotten
other.
fat, you've gotten old or something like
Yeah.
that?
And they both had that same moment of
Where it's
like,
like-
not sure if it's a joke, and then they laugh, and I
Yeah.
thought it was such a sweet parallel. I was
That's nice.
There's
freaking out
also-
during that scene. It was so cute. I loved that little nod.
There's also a nice parallel just in like the kind of like location that they're in, because after we get that scene in the square in Winterfell, we go down to the crypts and they have this conversation. This kind of affirmation of loyalty, I suppose, in the crypts in this kind of like dark, dimly lit place, and now we get that again with Gendry and Jon in kind of a like, I'm your man. Our fathers were friends. Let's be friends. And we were all like, new best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite relationship on the show.
But it's extra complicated because really, from what we know to be true, it's Rhaegar's son and Robert's son.
and Robert's
so that
son.
throws a
Oh.
wrench
Because Robert
Yeah.
killed Rhaegar.
into the
Hated him
perfect
forever.
shit.
Hated him forever.
So I
Nice.
so I'm curious
That's a nice like
as
switch
to where
on
that
it.
leads. But
And
I
yet-
hope they're friends.
And I do love how he just immediately was like, okay, you're not Gendry, and he's like, I'm Gendry.
Yeah.
Robert Baratheon was my father.
You're Clovis. Remember that. You're Clovis.
That's great.
No, they weren't in the crypts. They were just in a location that was very similar. They were in like the
They were in
Cave.
the mines. Yeah, the
Yeah.
caves.
You call that a
Is that
mine.
Erica?
I don't know. We got a knock on the door.
We got a knock on the door. I hope it's Paul McCartney. What's up? I hear whispering.
I know.
This sounds suspicious.
Ooh.
There's like a black sheet blocking our view of whoever's at the door. Oh, hey,
Hey.
it's Michael.
Oh, hey.
Hey, buddy.
Oh,
Hi.
hi.
What's
Oh,
up?
What?
Oh, all I said was like our internet's choppy. I was just kind of
Oh, we weren't like.
He's like, come here, help us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah, it's
you're
cool.
fine.
Yeah.
Bye.
Love ya. Bye.
Cameo of Fresh Plays and Beth Be Red on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. Someone corrected me. It's not Rhaegar. It's Rhaegar. It's
Rhaegar.
Prince Rhaegar.
Okay.
Raga.
We'll talk about that. I promise. We're
Yeah.
just trying to like make sure we
Yeah,
talk about everything.
So they go north and meet up with Tormund.
Oh yeah, Jorah. I guess this is sort of part of
volunteers,
this plotline. Jorah is leaving Dany. Jon is leaving Dany. All her romantic boys are leaving her.
God, you know it'd be hilarious as if Jorah goes up there and gets turned into a white, and Danny's like, "You have to find a cure,"
Oh my
and
God.
he just keeps being this shitty guinea pig because he's just so in love and won't say no.
I mean, if Jorah gets killed or if Gendry gets killed, it really begs the question of like,
Why bring them
Why?
back?
why are they back?
Yeah, they could have just been red shirts at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about
I think
Jorah.
they'll make it.
But
Bringing
we
him
think
back.
Barrack and
Barrack and Thoros are
Thoros are done.
toast Magos.
I
because
could
they had a
see that.
purpose. Their job was to get
Sandor.
up north for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Speaking of Maghost, god damn it, I'm pissed now that
That
they went
Ghost is
straight to
just
from Dragonstone to
gone.
Eastwatch, and he didn't bring Ghost. You should have brought Ghost.
Well, he's at Winterfell.
I know, but it would have made if this weren't a TV show where they have to care about that budget, they would have brought him because he would have been a symbol
He's like a
of the
super
house.
weapon too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been great to see him in battle.
I don't think Tormund's gonna make. Well, let's have this conversation, James, that
Sure.
you want to have.
Yes.
What's up?
Of who of the Magnificent Seven is going down. So let's.
Barrack and Thoros.
Yeah. Well, let's name them.
Okay,
Just to
Barrack, Thoros, Hound.
Hound,
That
I think, is gonna
contingent.
make it.
Hound's probably fine because I don't know. He's
Tormund's done.
Tormund's probably
Ugh,
done.
Tormund.
And then there's Jon and Gendry,
Gendry.
and
Jorah.
Jorah. So John's obviously safe.
obviously.
From there, technically, I guess everybody could potentially die. I do think
Yeah.
it would be stupid for them to bring back Gendry and just kill him off.
Same thing
Yeah.
with Jorah.
Same thing with Jorah. So
Yeah.
so we're inclined to believe that they're safe.
Tormund seems the likeliest to go.
Yeah.
Tormund, I think, can go because he's a character death that we would really feel. I think I would. I
Yeah.
really like Tormund.
I would miss him not only just because he's in a great character, but as the face of the wildlings, they'll need a leader after that.
Hound could die.
That
I think that
No.
would be dumb
That would
too.
suck.
yeah.
After we have this, like he's already died once. Like
Yeah.
His
Sure.
arc is so not about action, but about who he is, and I think
He needs
to
to
have
meet
him come back
Sansa
from this.
again.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe none of them die.
I would love to see he and Arya meet again as well.
that would be great if they all got away. That would. What if this plan just goes off without a hitch?
They just
And
They
they-
bring it to
Away.
Cersei.
They bring
She's
it
like,
down. So
great.
she's like, "Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's legit."
Armistice. Okay.
Yep. Oh wow. This is. I'm really moved. This is affecting me. Let's go. Yeah.
A dream of spring.
Yeah, I think Barrack and Thoros and Tormund. I think they're done.
I suppose there is like a world in which the Hound becomes the White, and then that's the way we get Clegane Bowl.
Oh God,
Oh,
please,
no.
Jesus, God, please.
Two
someone-
undead Cleganes.
Someone
Undead
pointed
Clegane
out.
Bowl.
Someone pointed out in the episode where he looks into the flames and he says something about like I see a mountain with like a blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if he sees the mountain and then they fight each
Yeah,
other?
Clegane Bowl.
It's gonna happen. Get
Get
hype.
hype.
Confirmed.
There was a great detail. I don't know if you guys caught it, but about the actor who plays Clegane, Sandor, that he just doesn't watch the show. He very much likes his alone time, his me time, and is now on this plot with all of these actors who are huge on the show, and he was looking around and being like, who does this guy play?
That's
And
so
presumably he was
weird.
talking like about John or like Jorah, and they're like, God damn, do you not know Kit Harington? It's like the star of the show,
I love
man.
it.
That's fun.
That's great.
Uh,
He just wants to sell some Scottish oats.
Yeah,
so is that it for that?
that
Magnificent
is.
Seven?
Yeah.
We're good.
Should we jump back? I think we got two. Well, we got a little bit of. Yeah, we got three. Okay, we got Winterfell. We've got Sam, and then we have Jaime and Cersei because we didn't really
We can
cover
knock
the
out
Jaime.
Sam.
Yeah, Sam.
Or
So-
can we just because
Because the show did.
the
so
show,
whatever.
yeah.
Oh
the
my
sh-
God.
Let's just breeze past
All right,
Sam
yeah,
as fast as the
let's
show
get
did.
into that because
Well, we already did the Maester brunch. Where they were
He's
starting to do
frustrated. He
douches.
made his Ebros was even asking like, "Hey, you got more of a pitch?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Here's what I want you to do. Everyone believes you. Say it," and they just aren't willing to.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And so he thinks, okay, they're never gonna change. He's just getting
Wow,
frustrated.
someone
with
in the chat's
himself.
really obsessed with our vocal fry.
What
it's
does
probably
that
mine.
mean?
It's vocal
It's like vocal.
fry.
We're
It's
not-
like
we're
how
not
I
that
am.
LA.
Sucks.
I don't know. It's because it's 9.
No.
Because
that's how
none
my-
of us know.
that's how my
what-
fucking voice
yeah,
is.
like-
Fuck you.
This is
Yeah.
NPR voice time.
Jesus.
Yeah, we're
Also,
not vocal frying.
fuck off.
We're not.
I am a little. I always kinda do.
Okay. So what do we want to tackle next with Sam? Because
Well, the next
So
thing he's
they're-
talking about is
they're
the
reading
goddamn-
together.
Yeah, they're
who
reading.
Gilly-
would have
Gilly's fucking
thought
reading.
that the scene, if you told me like scene with Gilly reading shit from the library would make us jump up on the back of our couch, which we only do when something really exciting happens.
I did crawl around on the floor for a minute.
Yeah. So we'll break it down real quick. I don't know what Maester was. It
Maester
doesn't
Maynard.
matter. A Maester who has to have been loyal to the Targaryens, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know him from the books, Maester Maynard, or anything like that. But
I
maybe there's something
doubt
out
it.
there.
Yeah, I
I'm
doubt-
sure
yeah.
it's just a show thing.
Says that Prince Rhaegar had his marriage annulled, and at the same time,
In Dorne.
in Dorne was remarried. RLJ confirmed. I forget what else the rest of it said. I think that was
That's it. That's where it
Yeah.
got cut off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what this means, and this is huge because this is stuff that book fans have not had confirmed.
Yeah.
Book fans have speculated. We're not sure. So this is huge. This is like information that is like brand new, and it's why we freaked out. Is that the implication of Rhaegar getting his marriage annulled and at the exact same time getting remarried in Dorne implies that his wife Elia Martell consented to this and was in on it.
Yeah.
And God, I mean, this goes back to like House of the Undying. This goes back to prophecy. I'm almost afraid to dive into it because it gets so dense, and this gets back to like stuff that we learned about a long, long time ago, with the prophecy of like the dragon having 3 heads and the prince that was promised,
There must
and
be 3.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest shocker is that we know for sure Elia consented, and now we know Jon's not a bastard.
Yep. For sure.
John.
Jon is the
Legitimate heir to
Heir.
the throne.
His
Yeah.
new best friend Gendry is gonna be so bummed that they don't have
man.
that cool bro
Yeah.
thing in
We're
common anymore.
Aw.
But we were.
But actually
we were
another
both
maester.
bastards. Yeah, but about that. Actually, it's just you.
But yeah, so this, and again, this is like a popular fan theory, is that Elia also bought into the idea that the dragon must have 3 heads. It's like a prophecy that we see Rhaegar give in the House of the Undying. Danny sees it. Does she? She doesn't see that in the show.
She doesn't see it in the show.
She sees
In the books,
a
we
few things.
and Rhaegar is talking to Elia in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's talking to Elia, and he's saying the dragon must have 3 heads.
It
And
seems like she's receptive to that in this
yes,
scene, I think.
because
Mhm.
Like, she knows
Elia
it.
was very infamously kind of a sickly woman, and she must have known that she couldn't have any more kids. She gave him 2 kids, and Rhaegar knew he needed 1 more, and he knew of a woman who could give him another kid. It was Lyanna Stark,
Yeah.
and Elia was like, "All right, cool."
Yeah. I wonder if anyone else knew and how they were silenced, because this is not common knowledge in Dorne. This Maester knows this, and maybe it was trying to be kept secret so that later when the war was over, Rhaegar, when he'd been crowned, he could have made this public. But it's a little surprising that no one else knew that there was no other indication of this being like a legal marriage.
I mean, I'm guessing it happened in the Tower of Joy.
Yeah.
Is it legal if it's not in front of a heart tree for the North?
I don't know. I'm sure the plan was that this would all come out after the war was over. I mean, I don't think that they expected to lose. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It was the Lannisters sacked King's Landing on a deception. And
Deception.
oh Christ.
God damn it.
And Robert winning at the Trident was like a big deal. And like, Robert almost lost the Battle of the Bells. Like there were moments where like they had King's Landing under siege. Like they were winning until the Trident. So
I'm hoping that. Sorry guys, I'm so tired. I'm sitting here like falling asleep.
It's a little warm in here.
I'm hoping
it's very
that.
warm.
Oh yeah, I'll turn that right back on.
Cool. I'm hoping that Dany finds out about Jon's lineage and gets mad about it, because that'll disrupt her entire.
Yeah, it's going to
Entitled.
set
Yeah.
up next season when the White Walkers aren't a thing anymore.
I would love it if no one cares about the White Walker threat. If they recognize it as true, Dany and Cersei, and they're like, we don't care.
Except Jon.
Yeah,
Jon
except
has
Jon. And, Dany would just be mad that the stakes are so high, but all she cares about is her throne, and this fucker Jon Snow is secretly a Targaryen. That's just good. That'll be hilarious. Yeah, that was shocking, and poor Sam wasn't really listening because he was so frustrated with the Citadel and himself. He just let it blow by.
Yeah, I'm wondering how many people that just blew by, because it was in such it was sandwiched between passages about poop.
It's going to come out.
Yeah,
It's going to come out.
Yeah.
It'll be like the next episode that we see that has it in the previous on will be like, oh, here it comes.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's left, Joel?
Winterfell. We could hit that
Wait,
next.
no, I want
Oh
that
yeah, let's hit that
last.
last. Maybe
Yes.
Tyrion and Jaime in the crypts, or not the crypts, the dragon crypts.
The
So
dungeon.
Bronn
The
arranges-
dragon
Bronn
crypts.
arranges this meeting.
Yeah,
or
he
Tyrion
does.
reaches
Yeah.
out to Bronn, and yeah, Bronn's still doing well. I like Bronn's whole like thing of just no, I'm done when there are dragons.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
fuck
reasonable.
this.
Yeah.
That's exactly Bronn.
Yeah, like my loyalty ends when there's dragons.
Yeah,
Bronn continues to be a lot of fun to watch.
him and Davos are just having great seasons.
Yep. I really liked that scene between
Tyrion and Jaime.
Tyrion and Jaime. I thought that both actors did a great job. I loved when Tyrion tried to start to explain himself,
Yeah.
He had him for a minute.
and Jaime couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jaime didn't kill him on sight, and I think a big part of that is now knowing that Tyrion was innocent. So I think Jaime knows that Tyrion in a way is right, that Tywin was going to kill Tyrion knowing full well he was innocent.
It reminded me a little of his scene with Olenna just really driving home that like Cersei's a monster and you know it. Like she is. And then we have Tyrion being like, dude, our dad was gonna kill me and he knew I was innocent. You
Yeah.
have to reconcile with that.
I do. Someone else said, yeah, we didn't get to see Tyrion and Bronn reunite. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
Just another casualty of the speed of the season.
Yeah.
Series isn't over.
But they already. What?
I mean,
That
they
can
were
still
in the same
happen.
room,
No, they
Yeah,
already,
they already had
they
their
already-
But-
reunion.
Yeah, they already met again.
but there was nothing.
They corresponded.
No, they were in
No,
the same
they
room.
met.
Oh, they
He was
were?
like,
Yeah.
I'll let
He
you
was like,
guys.
"Here you
Oh,
go."
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Ah, what a bummer.
There could have been a
I was
line of
like,
banter between
"What?"
them.
And yeah, do you guys think Cersei's gonna do anything about Bronn since she knew that he had
They can never be in the same scene together, so no.
Yeah, they can't. They hate each other in real life.
Cersei is
We'll talk about the
Bronn.
Arya. No, I promise. We're saving it.
Yeah, we're saving
Yeah.
it for last.
We also we didn't talk about that Cersei has now been told that it was Olenna, and contrary to what we predicted, it sounds like she believed it, that it wasn't Tyrion, but that it was Olenna that killed Joffrey.
She doesn't care. She still hates Tyrion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still killed Tywin.
Mm-hmm.
And that's almost as big a deal for Cersei.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And who was comparing her to Tywin this time? Someone else was doing it, or maybe she was just doing it for herself.
I think
She was
she
doing
was.
it-
She
yeah.
was
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
She
we
was
need
like-
to fight like father would fight.
Right.
Also, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Also.
Oh boy.
I'm better than Tywin because I can create life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised at the way she's not gone straight unhinged and just has become. I mean, she's been successful. It's kind of
really
Tywin-esque.
It's really weird.
Yeah, she's been way
I don't
more
know how I
successful than
feel about it.
expected. She might get into the next season, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do we think Euron is gonna deal with pregnant Cersei if she is pregnant, which I think she is? I don't think she gives a shit, and maybe that's part of her like we see this exterior of like, wow, no, she's actually like making moves and she's keeping her shit together. But I think maybe this baby and just lack of forethought and like, oh yeah, Euron. I don't think she understands how fucking crazy he is.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I want to see Euron.
She didn't really factor in, and she thought she could just like make this hollow promise for after the war will be, and then if he finds out and reveals like, oh, I'm this crazy fucker who crushes men to death with plows of my shit.
It would be interesting if, let's say, the Magnificent Seven plan works and they get a white down to King's Landing, and Cersei's like, oh my god. It would be interesting if then Euron, having found out about the pregnancy and that it's Jaime's, then like does something to double cross Cersei so that the help that Dany and Jon thought that they were going to get from Cersei doesn't come.
Yeah, I'd love that. Or on the flip side, maybe there's a conversation with Euron and she just lets him know, no, it's not true.
Yeah, or nothing, because this show can just let plot threads go. You know, like, I don't know. Every prediction, like I said at the top of the show, every prediction we make is wrong.
Hey, Euron's a little brother.
He is.
He is.
Oh.
That's true.
So many little brothers.
Lots of little brothers.
Winterfell?
Winterfell.
Is that it for us?
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry.
You guys are dying.
I'm
Lucy,
dying,
you
dude.
guys held it out, and you got a cat.
Yeah.
So.
Hi, Lucy.
Hey, Kitty. What up? What'd you think?
Hi, Lucy, baby.
Don't
It'll be fine. I'll keep her.
stop on the mixer.
Oh God.
Here she comes. She's
Yeah, on
got
the
a lot
the
of
keyboard
thoughts.
though.
No,
Lucy,
it's-
what'd you
she
think
wants
about
to talk
Winterfell?
About Winterfell.
She wants to talk about, yeah.
E3.
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 What do you got to say, Lucy? Type out your message. What do you got?
Oh.
Okay.
You found the perfect spot.
Okay. So in Winterfell, Sansa's ruling capably, as far as we can tell, she's doing her bang up job,
Well,
because
sounds
like-
Bronzion and Robert Glover are like, we want you to be in charge.
Yeah.
Some
And Arya
fair weather
overlooks it.
lords.
Yeah,
right now.
That was weird how
Yeah.
quickly they were. But I guess we've seen Jon enforce decisions that they're not entirely comfortable with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The stuff with the wildlings, the stuff with like training the women.
And
so
it's been only 3 or 4 episodes, but if we are sticking true to time, even though the show has not emphasized how long it's really been a while to get down there.
Months,
Takes a long
at
time.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old was that kid? How old was little Sam? Because I have no idea how old children are. So was he
2.
like 5 or was he like 2
no,
or 3?
he
No,
was
no,
like
he looked
2
like a 2-year-old,
or
yeah.
3.
maybe
That's like
3.
a toddler.
Okay.
That's not 5-year-old.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sam did say to somebody, like, I saw it years ago or whatever. So, yeah, and Arya is very skeptical of Sansa and how she's not holding true to Jon and how she might be playing into Glover and Bronzion wanting, like, you didn't defend Jon. Like, they were saying bad things and you didn't do anything.
And that she's doing it for her own self-benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it may. I know that they had a warm reunion previous episode, but I think it makes sense that it would quickly get to this because like those two were never on the best of terms, and like after you
Yeah.
have the relief of like, oh, you're still alive. I think it's easy, especially for how far they've gone in opposite directions since they last saw each other, for them to be skeptical of each other, especially Arya, who's been out there like, well, I mean, I guess they've both been through a lot of shit, obviously. But I don't know, Arya, yeah, she's not really been exposed to politics. It's all been like surviving.
Yeah, and the tools that she's learned over these years, she demonstrated last episode. She's an incredible fighter and a stealthy assassin, but she's not someone she's not had to rely on others. That's not something that she's learned how to do. She's just learned how to take vengeance and all the things that support that, but like creating alliances, meeting the needs of other people, having many people rely on you. She's not used to any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the episode was kind of bookended with Tyrion telling Dany, like, you can't just go around chopping off people's heads. That's not a way to rule. And then we have Sansa telling Arya the same thing.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, and
Because Arya was saying you should just kill those lords, and it's like, oh, Arya,
Yeah, like,
remember
you can't
Karstark?
Just do that.
also remember Ned. Like,
yeah.
like,
Well, that was different.
but Sansa was there. She doesn't know that Arya was there, right?
I don't know.
Well, whatever.
They've
In any,
I don't know if that's
maybe
important.
they've talked about it. We don't need to get into that.
Sure.
The point is,
Seems like the chat is taking Sansa's side over the Sansa Arya fight.
I would too.
Yeah,
I
I
would
would
too.
too.
I mean, I understand where both of them are coming from, but
Yeah.
Arya, try and figure out what's going on here.
I do like that they're butting heads. I do like that they're not just instantly getting along, because that's playing off of the relationship that they had from day one. However,
You know what I like?
let's do it. Let's get into it.
I like that Littlefinger is leading Arya astray because she thinks she's so clever, but she's really not.
Playing sister versus sister.
Sister.
Yes.
I was worried that this episode might have been the end of Littlefinger, and I'm
Never.
very, very glad that we're getting
One last
one
scheme.
last mark for Littlefinger.
Yeah, I mean, my expectation of this is like this is his last hurrah, and it's going to be to try to pit them against each other. And it's ultimately going to fail, and then together they're going to kill him, something like that. But it is nice that he's not just going down, getting out schemed by
Yeah.
how old is she now? I don't know.
But yeah, so he purposely
15.
was leading Arya around. Like, he's acting super shady. He knows Arya's following him.
That the first scene when he like looks over and she's gone is like, no, he saw her. He knows she's
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
I think he knows how overconfident she is too. I think that the scene in the previous episodes where she fights Brienne
And they share knowing looks.
showed a lot to both Sansa and Littlefinger about who Arya was, and I think for Littlefinger, he took away from that she is overconfident. For Arya to go up and be like, I'm going to fight Brienne of Tarth, best living swordsman in Westeros, that's a big deal.
Guys, could we apply to Sansa and Arya the dictum of your overconfidence is your weakness.
Oh,
your
cool.
faith in your friends is yours.
That's true.
So the
But I would like to say just previous episode when they had those looks that everyone was like, oh, that's Littlefinger crapping himself because he's seeing that Arya is like, oh, she's an assassin now and he's going to get killed by her. No, that's him plotting already on how to set her up the way he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I hope Bran will. I mean, honestly,
He should just
Bran
steer
could get off
clear
his
of
ass and
Bran.
take Littlefinger down.
He can't.
Yeah, but I'd.
Why?
Oh no, I didn't mean it that way.
So maybe don't be a dick.
Sorry,
Joel.
I just meant he has the
Yeah.
power to intervene.
If he could just rise up to the occasion,
Yeah.
Joel.
Yes.
I think,
But it'll be satisfying if Arya and Sansa do it. But also frustrating if Bran does nothing.
I think that ultimately what's going to happen is that Arya is going to take the letter to Sansa. They're going to have a very heated exchange that's going to result in them teaming up to kill Littlefinger.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna talk about the note.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about
talk
that
about that
note.
We
note.
want that note.
So the note that Littlefinger gets, which is a very deliberate delivery because he knows that Arya's following him around, is the letter that Sansa wrote back in season 1 that Cersei writes for her and Sansa she like dictates
Cersei-
it
yeah,
to
she
her.
pretty much
Cersei like
dictates it.
dictates to her and Sansa signs it, and it's to Robb, and it's basically telling Robb that King Robert's dead. Ned Stark's been declared a traitor, and Sansa urges her brother to swear fealty to Joffrey. And Littlefinger assumes that this is going to drive a wedge between Sansa and Arya.
Fair assumption.
Emily
yeah.
Serrano is copying the text of the letter into the chat.
Oh. Here I'll well, Chelsea, you should
Yeah.
read it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't read.
a
I'm
lady
too
voice.
far away from the laptop.
Rob, I write to you with a heavy heart. Our good King Robert is dead, killed from wounds he took in a bear hunt.
Boar
Boar
hunt.
hunt.
Father has been charged with treason. He conspired with Robert's brothers against the crown. There's more. Against my beloved Joffrey and tried to steal his throne. The Lannisters are treating me very well and provide me with every comfort. I beg you, come to King's Landing, swear fealty to Joffrey, and then the rest.
Bend to the knee, my lord.
So...
And prevent any strife between the great houses of Lannister and Stark, your sister Sansa.
What I wish had happened, now that we could have seen online or on the show, but is like a middle ground between laying out to each other, between Sansa and Arya, like every exhaustive detail of their journey up to now, and like it was a long story, but I wish they would just really tell each other where they've been so they can understand each other's point of view, because then Arya would understand that Sansa would never have written this except under duress.
We could get that next time they talk in subtext. It could be. I mean, they're okay.
Yeah, because
break down
those
walls.
Do?
What was the point of Truthy Smacky on the show? That was the
What?
line.
Truthy Smacky.
That was the line game, right?
Yeah.
So
That's
Arya would be able to like if she confronts Sansa and is like, "What is up with this?" and Sansa's like, "They basically had a gun to my head." Then Arya can be like, "Oh, you're telling the truth.
You don't get smacky.
Littlefinger led me to this. He's up to something. Let's fucking kill Littlefinger."
I wonder if Truthy Smacky will work on Littlefinger. Is he that good?
Yes. Yes.
Hey, don't hate on Rob, Caitlin.
Rob
had his flaws. He did his best.
So yeah,
he
so
had
you
one
don't-
major
it's
flaw.
like what? Okay, so let's follow this out to what we can assume Littlefinger hopes will happen. She reads the letter, gets mad at Sansa, and then what? What does she do? Not talk about anything? Go stab Sansa?
One possibility would be that Sansa banishes Arya, which seems extreme. I don't know what his game is. Just pit them against each other and cause chaos.
I mean, I think that's what he's the best at. Is just like push a domino down that starts like a rift, and then
just
it
see what
takes care
happens.
of itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She'll need an ally, and he could be that shoulder to cry on.
Yes. Such a strong shoulder. Sansa.
I mean, no one really believes that they're going to like be mad at each other, right? Like, come on.
I think it
momentarily,
could
but-
go longer than a scene. I think it could develop a little more depending on what moves Littlefinger is able to pull, what lies. Because there's enough between them. Like
I guess.
with Lysa Arryn and Sansa knowing that. And yeah, there's enough there that he could complicate the waters a little more.
There's also the whole thing that like, if Arya kills Littlefinger, she can just be Littlefinger.
No.
I like that.
That'd be
Hey, it keeps
so
Aiden Gillen
weird.
around.
I don't
That'd
care.
be so weird. I like that more than the theory that Arya is going to become Lady Stoneheart.
Do it.
That's weird.
What, like an undead
Catelyn
murder
Stark.
zombie?
Yeah,
That's
like she took
stupid.
on Cat's
yeah, like
face
she
can't-
and killed
like-
Littlefinger. Where would you get her?
Sorry, guys.
Oh.
I'm sorry, guys. Weren't we just talking about Undead Clegane Bowl a couple minutes ago?
Yeah,
But that
but
works.
It'd be pretty. It would be pretty shocking out of nowhere, but kind of. I don't know. It'd be creepy as fuck if she was. But this is the problem with the render farm. This is the problem with a million people talking about ideas,
What?
so that where we come to this speculation of like, Lady Stoneheart, she's gonna wear Catelyn's face and kill Littlefinger. If we didn't have this thousands of people on the internet speculating about stuff week to week, and we're
That'd
obviously
be the
taking
craziest
advantage of this.
shit
It would be the
ever.
craziest shit ever. It'd be Kaiser Sose and I See Dead people all wrapped up into one and then cranked up to 11.
And then what's in the box?
It would. It wouldn't. It would shock me, and then I'd be like, "Oh, well, that's impossible." Because
no, there's a way that they could make that awesome.
how they? Well, no, I
Yeah.
mean, they keep breaking rules that they've set up for themselves. Where they're like, "These are the rules of the world. You have to stick to it." And then they're like, "Well, Roose Bolton can die from a knife in the gut. Arya can take like 7 stabs and she's fine." But
We don't talk about that episode.
right.
No.
But I mean, like, you have to physically take people's faces. Like we saw the waif's face. You have to like get that face.
Yeah, I
so
feel
where
like
would
the
you
gotta
face
get
has
the
to be
face.
pretty. I mean, it's been how many years?
Yeah, it's been a long
And when
time.
would she have gotten it? I mean, she was just at the twins, but also like, why would they have it there?
Yeah.
They threw her in
Yeah,
a
if
river.
they can make me believe it, I'll believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
Anything else?
covered the fuck out of this episode.
What is Arya gained by maybe becoming Littlefinger? I don't know. I mean, Littlefinger has the armies from the Vale, and it'd be nice to have control over them without having Littlefinger around.
Yeah,
but
she influence over Bronzion Royce.
But
and
also,
the Knights of the Vale.
it's a dumb idea to have someone in Littlefinger's body that's like the mental opposite of Littlefinger. Like Arya doesn't plan ahead, like he does.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of silly.
Any questions?
Yeah, any questions? Hey guys, give a like to this video while you're at it, and if you want to support us, we have a Patreon as well, which helps us buy better equipment.
Oh my god, that'd be the worst if Arya was the waif this whole time.
Oh god.
Be the worst thing.
But she's maybe
Like
a
the end of
Bolton.
the season, it's just like a slow zoom in on Arya's body in the House of
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's actually Jaqen.
Oh my gosh.
Bronzion did say they were there for Sansa.
Yeah.
So
Because
Yeah.
that's Littlefinger manipulating them into being for Sansa because
well, I don't know. I wanna see what happens
he's
with
tied
Littlefinger.
his horse to that cart for sure.
I do like that they
Sweet
were
Robin's
there
back
for
and
that
homesick.
like King of North like speech, but no one was willing to be like, "Hey, you didn't win this battle. Sansa won this battle." Like you guys could have brought that up then. But no one did. The Vale was silent then.
Should we talk about the
Oh, the preview? I already forgot what was in the preview.
the preview was
Spoiler
just
alert, if
I
you
could-
don't like to watch. Just some people don't.
Oh,
like
I
to
thought you meant
Oh,
there was a
yeah,
spoiler
yeah,
in the
yeah,
chat.
yeah.
I was
No,
like,
no.
It's
No,
we
preview,
could talk
preview,
about it. It's
preview.
pretty brief
Yeah.
because it's very like teasery.
Yeah, there
Two-
wasn't that much.
Two
It
big
was-
events.
Yeah, it was like a trailer.
I mean, we
You
know
got the
that
fight.
shit's gonna go down at Eastwatch.
Yeah.
and it's
then other than
Arya
that-
versus Sansa, maybe.
Them being
Sure.
like, I don't know.
Well,
It was
what
a
are you
very, it was
scared
kind of
of,
a very next time on Mad Men style promo where it's like doors shutting
Yeah.
and people going, yeah, what? And just concerned looks.
Yeah.
There wasn't that much, which I'm fine with.
A lot of snow.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did
Did we cover everything?
think we
'Cause
actually
holy
I got a lot
shit.
of cross out on
Great
this
episode.
outline.
It
Yeah,
was
it was
good.
fine. I continue to believe that the season is moving too
I
fast.
100% agree.
I
Yeah.
would appreciate the extra couple of episodes to just slow things
Yeah.
down, give things more import, especially when it comes to like John finding out
Oh,
that his siblings are alive, shit like that.
yeah.
It's-
Barrack's flaming sword is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Fleming.
Yeah, we're sacrificing a lot of character stuff for plot, which is a
They're
drag
just-
for
they're just
those of us who
burning
like
through
character
plot.
stuff.
Why is it that? Why did they're like, well, we have to get through all this stuff. Let's take fewer episodes to
Don't
do it.
I think they're burned out.
They just want to be
They
done.
wanna
yeah,
be
I mean,
done.
it is a
I get it.
the production
And
alone.
they
is
want
lot
to they want to
daunting.
keep up hype for the last season, and I know a big complaint that I hate that people have about the show is, oh, nothing happens,
Which is absurd.
which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
think they're just trying to like power through everything.
And yeah, Littlefinger was talking to Lords at Winterfell. And
Yeah,
was
that wasn't
just,
all about the Arya thing.
You think it wasn't all
No, I
just about
think
the
he was
Arya
actually
thing?
talking to them about
So like,
something.
I mean, when I was watching that scene, I did think like, is he like plotting something against John with these lords?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he was doing that from moment one of King of North.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what he's doing is he's trying to rally support for Sansa because he thinks that he can manipulate Sansa. He knows he doesn't have any power over John because John is so singularly focused in his mission.
Yeah.
But I think he still thinks that he has control over Sansa. But Sansa, I think, is starting to realize that she's not a pawn anymore. She's a player. And we'll see that probably come to fruition next episode or the one after that.
Where's
Yeah.
Theon?
No.
Yeah.
Where was?
I
What,
feel
on
like they would at
Dragonstone?
least, yeah, like
Is he
is
in a dungeon?
Where's
is he like in
Yara?
a prison?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Yara's getting hella tortured by Euron.
Yeah, I'm glad in a way we're
Yeah.
not getting like a
Tor-
nothing good.
torture
In
hour.
a different scenario in which Theon was a valuable fighter, he would have been one of the 7 or just a member of that party because, hey, you're not doing anything. Go be useful. Because otherwise, I think he's just hanging out at Dragonstone. They didn't send him on any particular plot line to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
So he sort of wanted help to go get Yara, but I don't remember that being addressed in any way.
I still can't believe they're doing a surprise baby plot.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Like I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, in
We'll
like
see
the
if it's
11th
real.
hour
Yeah.
like this.
Also, that thing, pregnancy, is really tied to time. So I wonder, like, if
Is she gonna be alive for 9 months?
No, yeah, I mean, like, it takes, like, this could be a not barometer, but like a metric for you, like, oh, okay,
How long
are
it's
they,
been,
are they
Oh.
really sticking to how long distances take to
Interesting.
travel? Because
Yeah.
it's
That's
a bit to
interesting.
get up
Okay.
to.
So-
things.
Like
so,
if
like,
someone
next time we
leaves
see her,
King's
she's
Landing
like
showing.
and
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
back.
Like, oh, you do take time seriously. Okay, I was wrong.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they got up to fucking Eastwatch real fast.
Yeah.
All right.
I doubt it. But
Someone pointed out in the chat, I think it was Nell Dog pointed out that Alan Taylor is directing next episode. Alan Taylor is
okay,
a
yeah.
old school, early seasons director of
Oh,
Game of
that's
Thrones.
good.
Oh, cool.
Directed some really good episodes of the show, so that's neat that he's back. It'll probably be an action-heavy episode, and I expect it to be kind of more traditionally shot action than something like Battle of the Bastards was.
Which I'd prefer that for this.
Yeah, it'll be easier to kind of track the characters, I think. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm expecting anyways. I could be wrong, but
Yeah. And
judging from his past work.
I like just having my jaw drop at like the really, really big milestone battles, and it would kind of suck if they're like, let's just make everything super slick, and then it kind of wears off and isn't
Yeah.
as novel anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Truth.
I liked Matt Shackman's run. I mean, I would have been fine with
Yeah.
one fantastic episode from him with the Loot Crate Field of Fire.
That were these these last two. Yeah,
Yep.
great job.
Yeah.
Great job.
Good
Both
stuff.
episodes were very good.
Great job.
Great job.
Keep it up.
Anything else before we go? Yeah, Gendry Arya forever. I really my
I
personal
don't-
dream end of series is Arya and Gendry re-establishing House Baratheon in a kind of weird poetic twist on Robert's original wish of joining the houses
But
of
what
Stark and
about
Baratheon.
That's not her.
Sansa and Gendry?
What?
They don't have the history.
Yeah, there's nothing
I
there.
don't know.
And he's a dirty Iron Man.
Okay, now I can see it. Now that you say it that
But
way,
he-
she's a prissy lady.
She's a
But-
prissy lady, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've just been banging my hammer all day.
My hands are dirty.
Anything I can do for you, my lady?"
But then it would basically be
Dirty
I don't know.
Princess Pride.
What?
He'll be like, "As you wish."
No.
Uh,
Never mind. I'm
oh
too
God,
tired.
it was so
I'm really
heartbreaking in
tired.
like season 3 or whatever, where it's like you can
You-
come as
you'll
Smith
be
in
my lady.
Winterfell, and you'll be our Smith, and
Oh.
and he was like, and you'll be my lady.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey, what is the next title? The episode. Of the, next,
Oh.
the title of the next episode.
Do we know?
It hasn't been revealed
It's
yet. Possibly.
Still
Let's
Eastwatch.
check that.
Part 2.
Eastwatch. Again.
Eastwatch again.
Careful. I don't
I
wanna
know.
see
No.
Yeah.
Just close your eyes for a second, gang.
that. I might fall asleep.
I don't think it's out yet.
You could search for
Yeah,
Game
I
of
think
Thrones
it's
season
not out
7
yet.
wiki
Really?
Someone in
because
the
it has
chat
an
said-
episode list.
Someone in the chat said it's not out yet.
Oh,
I'm
okay, maybe
inclined
it's
to
not.
believe them based on
Yeah.
our lack of results
Let's
here.
get. Let's guess,
Let's
and then we'll
guess.
see who's closest.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Requiem for a Littlefinger.
Oh yeah.
Do the white thing.
Oh, I like that.
Damn it.
Oh boy. To Catch a White Walker.
Yeah.
That's great.
The really cold 7.
Yeah.
Look who's pregnant too.
Look.
God, I could conceive that we wouldn't even be in the South next episode. It could be all North stuff.
Could just be straight
Oh,
up
What
all
about
Bob.
Dragon Glass and kicking ass?
Oh, that's it. Join us next time when we discuss Dragon Glass and kicking ass.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
wish.
They do have Dragon. That's true. They do have
Yeah,
Dragon
that's
Glass.
why that's what the title's gonna be.
They could get away.
Good call, Chels.
Spoilers.
with the Dragon
Mhm.
Glass.
Cool.
That would actually be pretty awesome if that like turned the tables. If like somebody not John killed a White Walker and then they were like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
I like Silenus. Silenus says the episode's gonna be called "Tormund Finally Fucks a Bear." Yes.
Yes.
And
Tormund finally says har.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to Chelsea and maybe Gressel, your theory of this could be just wrapping up. I wouldn't put it past this show to have dragons just show up at the last minute of this battle.
That's
I'd be
true.
like, gone. White Walkers gone.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Actually, I don't know. I could
mean,
see that happening.
Well, this isn't the giant army, right?
Yeah,
don't-
this
We
is-
think this is a small
I
contingent.
mean,
of
it
the-
is a
the
big
dead.
army.
It is, but I think they have more.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So yeah, maybe dragons come and wipe them out. I don't know. Oh, but we
Yeah.
do see the Night King in the preview.
Yeah, he was looking all Night King.
Him and his little deputy, his favorite deputy. Yep. Okay.
You're my favorite.
Sorry, guys. I'm passing out.
Yeah. All right.
did it.
I'm James.
I'm James.
I'm Chelsea.
I'm Joel.
We've been talking about Game of Thrones. We'll do it again next week and the week after that. Next week's is 70 minutes. The finale is 80 minutes.
Yeah, so we'll probably go on a
fuck, I'm
little
so
bit
excited.
later
Oh,
next
yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
try to get more sleep.
But thanks everybody for watching. If you liked what you saw and want to make a contribution to our Patreon page, the link is in the description below. For as little as $1 a month, $12 a year, you can make a huge difference into the quality of our videos. There's other links in there for Amazon stuff and things like that. Anything else?
You're
you
so
wanna
good
plug?
at that spiel. Also, a really fun thing we do on our Patreon is we like watch movies
Oh,
together and we
yeah.
record ourselves
Yeah.
watching them, and we pick like really weird shit to watch. And so our commentary tracks are a lot of fun. We just watched Trolls together, and
Yeah.
it was weird.
Yeah,
I
we've
think we're
done
watching
4 total
Good
so
Burger
far.
this
Oh
week.
yeah,
Yeah,
Good
we're-
Burger.
We're going to be
Good
watching
Burger.
Good Burger this week for our Patreon, new Patreon reward, Practical Flicks.
So what it is, it's a commentary track. You sync up with the movie, and
Mhm.
you just hang out with us and watch the movie.
You hang out with us, we watch the movie, we make fun jokes. I'm really excited to watch Good Burger this week.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Starring,
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Starring
Yeah.
Kenan
Joel,
Thompson.
Joel asked if he should pre-watch it,
No.
and we were like,
No.
no.
Okay.
Hey, I hope that all of your movie picks star Kenan Thompson.
Oh
that's-
no!
Oh my
no, that
God.
precedent.
Wow.
There's not. There's only
Not
so
many.
many.
Snakes on a plane.
The
Oh, Christ.
Fat Albert.
Oh, hi.
I don't
Anyway.
want to just. I was fine with just '90s nostalgia,
Yeah, well,
but I guess now I'm.
you could go on
Keenan.
an arc.
Oh boy.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Thanks
I
everybody.
went from Game of Thrones to Good Burger, like
Like and
fast.
subscribe.
Yeah, guys.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Dead Meat as if you haven't already.
Well, come on by for real. If you go look at Dead Meat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's cool.
Until next time, thank you guys very much for watching and enjoy your dragons.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I don't know.
Enjoy your